Hello, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another part of Higurashi When They Cry. So yes, we're in for a night of, well, fun. Let's just leave it on that. So yeah, when we left off, our parents had gone off to Tokyo, leaving their son unknowingly behind. As in, like, the son didn't know, we don't know, until they were already in Tokyo. So yeah, nice parents. Very responsible. But anyway, I needed to make up a good story to explain that my parents were home, but couldn't answer the phone at the moment. They were making tempura and couldn't step away right now. That wasn't good enough, yeah, because, yeah, they've been making tempura for the past, 4 hours now. Yes. They were sick and went to bed because they weren't feeling well. Was that going to be safe enough? I was thinking about it on the way back to my room when the phone rang once again. 3 rings in one night? It was like they knew they were calling because they knew I was going to die. I didn't want to pick up, but I knew I had to. They'd suspect my parents weren't here. I should have just taken the phone off the hook under the pretense that I didn't realise what it was. That's actually probably a better idea, yeah. But since the phone rang, I had to pick it up. I prepared myself and lifted up the receiver.
Moshi.
I stopped announcing this was from Maybara residence. I had no reason to be kind to someone I didn't know the identity of. But unlike my uncouth voice, the person on the other side sounded goofy and light-hearted. Ah, okay. Hello, Oishi.
Oishi-san desu ka?
前原さんですか。こんばんは。お元気そうで何よりです。
ちょっと待ってくださいね。
I grabbed the portable handset and rushed up to my room with it. It was the same no matter where I was, since there was no one else home. But I wanted to be in a soft spot, well, it just felt a bit safer when speaking on the phone with Oishi-san.
お待たせしました。
いかがですか、その後お変わりは。
Since then, when was that exactly? That's a good question. There was something about the brazen way he talked that rubbed me the wrong way. The last time I spoke with Oishi-san was 2 days ago. I mean, from my perspective, it was probably more like a week ago? Maybe a few days ago. Actually, it might have been 2 days ago. I don't know. The day I stayed home from school, I met Oishi-san on the way back from the hospital, and we headed into town for lunch and had a talk. Yeah, that was a week ago. Then after that, Renner and Mion came to check up on me. Whenever I spoke with Oishi-san, they always knew about it. Does this mean that they're going to come again? While your parents aren't home? Hehehe. It was like that since the first time I met him. Today's phone call may well be found out by them as well. I mean, if they're able to find out about the phone call, then they probably know that your parents aren't there, if they have that kind of ability to do that. In which case you probably might as well tell him?
すみません。なんて言いました？
その後、何か変わったことはありませんかとお尋ねしたんです。
Yeah.
お返事がないんで焦りましたよ。
I think I was threatened by,
特には。
I was threatened with mochi. The word stopped in my throat. Thinking of things stopping in his throat, there was a ton of stuff that happened. All of it baffling. Oh, and also, it's Satoshi's bat, isn't it? Oh, I completely skipped that. What should I talk about? I didn't understand any of it, but I should try asking. If I didn't ask now, I may never have another chance. This night, when my parents went home, I had no guarantees I would make it through the night safely after all.
その大石さん、やっぱり俺命を狙われているみたいです。
本当ですか？
偶然の可能性もあるんですが、先日俺が病気で休んだ日、夕方にあの二人がお見舞いに来たんです。
あの二人？
レナとミオンです。そしてそこで大石さんと一緒に昼飯を食ったことを正されました。
それで
お見舞いってことでおはぎを置いていったんですが、偶然飲み込まずに済みましたが。
Oops, say, that was an accident.
これってやっぱり脅迫でしょうか？
その針は？
よく見かけるような普通の裁縫針のようでした。糸を通す穴が開いていて。
違いますよ、前原さん。針です。
Yes, he was talking about the needle itself.
証拠になります。
Oh, true. Possibly. Yeah. Might have some traces of them on it or something.
脅迫だと立証できるかもしれません。
Although, fingerprints on a, like, can you really get an actual fingerprint thing from a needle?
その針はありますか？
How else would they be able to actually know that they had the needle at one point? That's right. That's it. I dropped the receiver and rushed downstairs. When I tossed for Mochi, I'd overlooked it out of terror. Yeah, fair enough. But that needle was a valuable piece of evidence. Let's see. I threw the Mochi and the needle at the wall together. If it was there, then it would be on the living room wall. Wait. It would be on the wall. I doubt that. Also, yeah. But my prudent mother had cleaned that living room wall, and there was not a trace of Mochi left in it. Could it be that it dropped in the gap between the wall and the carpet? I frantically searched by running my palm along the carpet, but nothing turned up. I tried moving around the sofa and desks, pulling up the carpet, then flapping it around. But I couldn't find the needle. Did my mum clean up everything without noticing it? It was just 2 days ago. I didn't know what day they collected the burnable trash, but it may still be in the trash bin in the kitchen. I rushed into the kitchen, opened up the lid of the pail, and poured out the contents. But even at a glance, I could tell that it would be incredibly difficult to find the needle in this pile of trash. Needle in a trash stack? I was looking for a needle in a trash stack. Because garbage stack doesn't fit. I don't know other words for bin. What's garbage? Rubbish. Rubbish stack. No, because you've got the SH going into an ST sound. You can't do that. With trash is as well. Rubbish stack? It's also two set. Anyway, this isn't important. Trash stack. Yeah. Trash stack is the only one which fits well. Anyway, I know. I'll try running my hand through it. Ugh. Aren't you also going to stab yourself if you do find it? It was a bit gross, but I was looking for a needle. If I felt a small prick, I'll be able to find it. Okay. Also, probably get yourself infected, but okay. It was a pretty tactless method, but it was the quickest. It depends what's in the trash, I suppose. They said it was burnable trash. Anyway, I held my breath and started striking the pile of trash with my hand. Filth flew about. There was nothing more disgusting than this, but it was not the time to be concerned about such details. I mean, cleaning it up? Did you put this onto the carpet, by the way? Ugh, if you did. Yeah. I continued on for a while, but nothing turned up. I wanted to search more thoroughly, but I was still on the phone. I shouldn't keep Oishi-san waiting for too long. Make sure you wash your hands thoroughly before you go back to the phone. Later when Mum got back, I'd have to ask her if there was a needle. I hastily began scribbling on the notepad affixed to the refrigerator with a magnet. Was there a needle? I scrawled the words with a red pen. I then darted back up the stairs where I'd been keeping Oishi-san waiting for far too long. He didn't say anything about... yeah, cleaning his hands. I'm disappointed in you.
どうでしたか？
見つかりません。あの時はつい気が動転していて。
That's fair
そうです
point.
か。見つかればでいいんです。保管しておいてくださいね。
That's right. The needle wasn't the only incident. I had to tell him about this morning with the hidden run.
あと大石さん、それだけじゃないんです。実は今朝。
That van was definitely aiming for me. I could say that without question due to the circumstances at the time. その車のナンバープレートは見ましたか? Nope. こちらでも探してみます。I highly doubt it. Damn! At the time, I just flipped out yelling at him, but I didn't look at the plate. What failures on my part with a needle and the plate number. I was so focused just protecting myself that I let some of the most important details slip out of my grasp. And in the end, did a worse job of protecting yourself. So yeah. I punched my pillow, annoyed at how worthless I was.
すみません。白いワゴン車ってこと以外はわかりません。
Well, in a small town like Higurashi, how many white vans are there? 仕方ないことですよ、前原さん。惹かれかければ気も動転します。
やっぱりこれだって偶然じゃないですよね。
Probably not. Oishi-san started to hem and haw over on the other end. I could imagine him folding his arms. With the phone in at his ear? I guess like squeezing it against his shoulder, but that's probably less comfortable. Maybe he's on speakerphone.
あと、レナの様子もやっぱり怪しいです。
Nothing I've said has really been all that relevant. Anyway. What Rena said on the way home today, asking why I was so much like Satoshi-kun. Now I could say it with confidence, that Rena knew what happened to Satoshi. She knew that there was more to it than him simply disappearing.
レナは知っています。去年の鬼隠しにあったサトシのことを何か知っています。
それは具体的にどういうことですか？
レナが言うには、俺はサトシとそっくりらしいんです。このまま行くと、俺もサトシと同じ運命をたどると、そんな感じのことを言うんです。
運命ですか？具体的にどんな運命をたどるか言及しましたか？ I'll be transferred. How terrible.
天候と。
No. 天候？
レナはサトシは転校したって言ってるんです。
Yeah, it's very much quotation marks. Without the quotation marks, it's like, oh, how terrible a fate that he transferred out. Yes, yes,
で、
indeed.
俺もこのままだと転校しちゃうぞって。
Are you going to die? Oishi-san let out a stern sigh, and then grumbled loudly. 前原さん、それはおそらく何かの脅迫、もしくは警告ですね。
俺もそう思ってます。
At that point, I started to think. Would it be prudent to sum up everything that had happened up until now as the machinations of some human perpetrator? Other than the theory of it being Rena and the others, I was left with Voyashiro-sama's curse actually existing as the only explanation. Or you being insane? Of course I couldn't tell that to Oishi-san.
Except, Rena's strange behaviour could be proof of either scenarios. Whether it was so sure of someone's curse being real, or everything being part of a conspiracy committed by all the villagers. Rena was involved. Rena had to know something. Rena was suspicious. What exactly was Rena? What? I couldn't help but think she was somehow involved with a prior string of mysterious deaths. I seem to recall that Oishi-san had admitted that he had dug into Rena's past a little. He was probably just downplaying it when he said a little. Meaning he had actually dug pretty deep, most likely. Now, when she was 6 years, 3 months and 2 days at 11 o'clock, this happened. Well, I wonder if it was that deep. Anyway, I wanted to hear about Rena. I wanted to know what happened at the previous school, among other things that were still unknown to me. If Rena was someone I should suspect, no, not that. I wanted to know the truth. Tonight, I was alone in this huge house. Even though I said I couldn't count on them, I had lost the security I felt I had just by my parents being around. It wasn't like this house was some sort of fortress or castle. If a malicious person decided to use brute force, they'd easily gain entry. Like Rena? There were no other residents close to the Maibara residence. No one would be able to hear anything, no matter how loud it was. I'd never felt as much resentment towards my father's artistic temperament, and the fact that he had this house built in such a remote location as I did right now. Okay, that surprised me. I wondered if I would still be here by tomorrow morning. So I had to ask, what? What about the doorbell? Right now. Because I had no idea when the next chance would come.
大石さん、聞きたいことがあるんです。隠さないでくださいね。
ええ、何でも聞いてください。
Even though he was so far away on the other end of the line, this was the most reliable he had ever felt. I wanted to ask about Reno. About what happened at a previous school.
実はレナの
Yeah. As it kept repeating that doorbell sound, it felt less and less like scary or surprising. That last one was just like, yeah, it's happening. Whatever. I noticed the sound that had been going on for a while now. Since I was so focused on the call, I hadn't paid attention to it at first. But I finally realized it was the doorbell. Yes, not the type of sound the Higurashi make. The time was 7 o'clock. It was past the time the postman would be making a delivery, and past any sensible time for a neighbour to be visiting. I considered just acting like nobody was home, but that wouldn't be good. That would ruin all the work I put in making it look like my parents were home. I needed to answer the door. Maybe I could chalk it down to like they didn't hear the doorbell because they had the TV on or something, rather than you going and then them going, oh, if you're answering, then we know your parents aren't home.
もしもし、前原さん？
あ、すみません。誰か来たみたいですので、ちょっと玄関に行ってきます。
Can you look from your room? Maybe?
お客さんですか。すみません、すみません。今夜のお電話はこれくらいにしましょうか。
Probably not. This might be my last phone call. That would be a problem.
あ、いえ、すぐ戻りますから。電話はこのままでいいですか？
はいはい、構いませんよ。
I dropped the handset on my bed and dashed down to the door. I needed to make up a good excuse to get him to leave. I had a hunch it was the lady who called right before Oishi-san did. In which case it would be one of the neighbours who's friends with my mum. I'll just say Mum isn't feeling well and went to bed early. Maybe just in case, bring it with you and have it on like speakerphone but muted or something. So she can hear the conversation. That might be for the best. Anyway, that would be the easiest option. It'd be hard for her to ask me to wake my mum if she's not feeling well. The bell continued to ring at regular intervals. Someone didn't answer someone didn't answer after you rang the bell so much. You'd normally give up and go home, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's maybe a bit suspicious. Maybe, you know, there's a... Okay, maybe it's not in the original, but in this version there's a, like, eye thingy? I don't know what those are called, because I don't have one. Yeah. Anyway, without removing the chain, I opened the door slightly and peered out at the visitor. A chill ran down my spine. Oh dear. I knew it. Somewhere deep inside, I'd prepared for this moment. I tried to escape by imagining it was the easiest person to deal with. One of my mum's friends.
Konbanwa.
Okay, that voice creeped me out a bit.
Rena.
There shouldn't be any reason for Rena to come over at this hour. What if she has like bolt cutters and just chops the chain open? I could totally see her like just brandishing a bolt cutter thingy in the same way that she was holding the hatchet. The timing also made me feel uneasy, because it was just as I was about to ask Oishi-san about Rena. Yeah, I wish I could have chalked this up to mere coincidence, but those unsettling words from Mion several days ago echoed back to me.
さーてね。おじさんにわからないことはないからね。
レナ一人。
うん。
It seems that Mion wasn't with her. That didn't change the situation at all.
何しに来たんだよ。
ねえ、圭一くん。ちゃんとドアを開けてお話ししたいな。
Yes, talk.
レナは玄関に入っちゃダメなのかな
It was true that speaking through a chained door wasn't the right way to talk to a classmate. But...
うち、夜は必ずチェーンかけてるんだよ。気にすんなよ。
なら、仕方ないかな。
Rena looked at the ground sadly. Aww. But she kept smiling at least, and her effort to keep that smile up was quite pitiful. Even though she was tugging at my heartstrings, I didn't lower my guard. As long as I stayed like this, even if it made my heart ache, my life wasn't in danger. What I really feared, more than the possibility of that hoodlums would assault me if I removed the chain, was trusting Rena enough to remove the chain and having my friendship betrayed. As long as the chain wasn't unlatched, even if it made my heart ache, I wouldn't have to deal with being betrayed by Rena. Since it didn't seem like I'd removed the chain from her silent urging, she appeared to give up on trying to get into the entranceway.
あのさ、圭一くん。ご飯食べた？
No, I haven't eaten. Since my mum wasn't there, dinner wouldn't be ready no matter how long I waited. I laid down when I got home, was waken up by the phone, and didn't have a chance to eat since I used up all the time talking. I was going to have cup noodles in any case. I could just eat one whenever I wanted to.
いや、まだだよ。それがどうしたよ。
じゃあよかった。これ見て。お惣菜とか持ってきてあげたの。
I'm slightly suspicious. Rena held out a stack of boxes wrapped in cloth.
お台所とか貸してくれれば、お味噌汁も温めてあげられるよ。
いいよ、そこまでしてくれなくても。
でもお豆腐もお野菜もたっぷりなの。
Yuck, vegetables.
ケイチ君、そういうの嫌いかな。
There's no way I wouldn't like that. I love miso soup with lots of ingredients. White radish, carrots, beetroot and potatoes. Dense and fibrous root vegetables. There it is. Yeah, that miso soup looks incredible.
ご飯も持ってきてあげたから、レンジで温めればすぐ食べられるし。
I suppose you could say it's to die for. Wink wink. Well, yeah. Without a doubt, rice needs miso soup. Stuffing rice down your gullet, sipping miso soup in between ravenous bites. Oh yes, how wonderful it is to be born Japanese.
それからね、またお漬物を作ってきたんだよ。今度は山菜のお漬物なの。
I have no idea what type of pickles those are, but okay. Before I had moved here to Hinamazawa, I scoffed at the mountain vegetables called sansai. But I was captivated by their charm the first time I tried them. Such a deep, yet light flavour. Those so-called supermarket vegetables taste rough and overpowering in comparison. If you had to describe them, then they were vegetables for the uninitiated. I mean, most of the vegetables here, rather than being deep and light, it's more just, yeah, they don't have flavour. To become an expert such as myself, yes, you first had to partake of sansai. It was common knowledge around here that Ryugu's family's traditional pickles were wonderfully delicious. No matter what kind of pickles they were, they'd go so well with that fluffy rice.
それからね。
But wait, there's more! So delicious. It just seems so delicious. Why is she bringing you dinner? Farewell to my unhealthy self, who said he'd make do with cup noodles. Renna appeared to be in good spirits, and she was offering such a delicious-sounding dinner. The stress evaporated from my gut, and hunger reared its voracious head. At the same time, my wariness of Renna suddenly dwindled. Oh no. Renna did say she was alone. It shouldn't be a problem letting her inside. Though the possibility that it was laced with poison still hadn't been ruled out. That moment, a cold chill ran down my spine again. I couldn't understand why such a sensation had occurred just then. But the voice inside me was sounding the alarm. This happy Renna speaking of this charming dinner was dependent on one premise. That premise was that tonight, dinner hadn't been made at my house, meaning it was under the assumption that my mum, who should be making it, wasn't here. It said here, right, not there? Yes, that's neither here nor there. At any normal household, 7 o'clock would be around the middle of dinner time. If my mum were here, we'd be eating dinner around this time as well. The fact that she brought over the makings of a meal at this time was inherently strange. Unless she knew. Renna, did she know that my parents weren't home? But there was also a chance that this was a bluff. And what would they be bluffing? I had turned on the lights and a bunch of other stuff to make it seem like my parents were here. There was a chance that Renna was unsure if my parents were home. But I had to wonder. The laundry, the garage, the evening paper. I mean, that's kind of suspicious because it's normally closed, he said. There were plenty of signs of him being hastily tidied up. Okay, because I'm coming up to 30 minutes, I get the feeling that something's going to happen soon, so I don't want to split that part into 2 separate parts, so I'll stop here for now. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. Till then, see ya!